Your hair is fluffy, love.
Fluffy.
Fluffy.
Fluffsicle.
Aw, Fluffsicle. I miss my Sky Bear. I like making names for people. So Sky Bear
Yan yung
is
hobby niya.
Sky Bear. She's my Fluffsicle. She's my Floofy. What about you, love? What am I gonna call you next?
I'm the love of your life. The most poggy man in the world.
Oh, just you want me to tell everyone my real
I can
nickname
say
for you?
I can say I'm the most poggy man in the podcast world because no one can see me right now. I was telling you this yesterday. Parang may double standard ang toilet seat.
Toilet na naman ang topic natin.
There's a double standard because bakit ba ang lalaki ang kailangan mag-lift up and mag-put down ng toilet seat? Bakit hindi ang babae?
Kasi nga, I already also told you my answer yesterday.
What?
Don't you remember? We use the sit-down option more. First of all, hindi option for babae to stand up. But ang lalaki, kaya mag-stand up, kaya mag-sit down. And when you poop, you have to sit down.
Di ba? Pero ang babae
So let's
ang...
just all sit down and make the world a better place.
There's a place in your heart.
Bakit ba in-invent na ang lalaki kailangan standing up while peeing?
Kasi we have access to it. Easy access.
Well, if you really force the issue, I can stand up too. It's just weird.
Well, I'm not forcing you, but you can try.
Okay, next time you leave the toilet seat up, I'll stand while peeing.
Next podcast challenge. Crispy
Buti na lang walang
standing
video
up
cam lang.
with ASMR sound.
Ibaba na tayo kung may video ka. Love, love, love. It's flashing. It's flashing.
Ang init sa paa.
Uy, ano ba? Start na tayo. Nakakaloka. Welcome to the Sky Podcast.
Love, you're a fairly successful person.
Ako lang. Ikaw hindi.
I mean, yeah, we're fairly lucky. Do you think success is skill or luck?
Skill or luck? You know, that's a funny thing to ask because a lot of people say like, oh, how did you like reach this level as a
Yeah.
content creator? And some people will say, swerte lang siya kasi she joined at the right timing.
Yeah.
Which is partly true because I joined blogging way back when, 2010. Na nauna ako sa
Yeah.
mga bloggers. So I was one of the pioneers here in the Philippines.
Yeah.
So in that sense, yes, I joined at the right time. But I also have so many other, co-bloggers at that time na sa ngayon,
They stopped.
they
doing it.
stopped. Yeah. So I think it's a mix of both.
Yes.
It's also skill. I mean, in order for me to keep doing what I'm doing, content creating, parang I had to scale from blog to Facebook to Instagram to videos to now podcast. Parang there's a need to also relate to your audience. There's so many things right? So it's also skill, but I feel like luck is also a big factor. How about
Now
you?
that you've talked about it, parang masasabi ko luck is a factor of, success is a factor of the skill you put in with the luck that you are given. Parang ganyan. But I feel like we credit skill more than luck, but a lot of things in life that we have right now, or just people in general who are alive, have a lot to be thankful for, a lot of luck.
I feel like you can't. Yes, that's true, but I feel like it's really a balance. For example, a lot of people are luckily born into well-off families.
Yes.
But not all those people who are lucky enough to be born into those well-off families still end up being, let's say, well-off or even more
Successful, yeah.
successful in the future.
Yeah, because you can also say that super successful people like the mga billionaires na nakikita natin on TV came from very humble beginnings, and they would say they were lucky enough to be born in humble beginnings because it gave them
The opportunity
to and drive.
to hone the skill.
Yes.
Right.
So depende on how you look at it. Like you can say, oh, I'm not lucky enough because I was spoiled from the very start.
Yeah,
And
or
then-
or you can also say, I'm lucky because I was well off from the start.
Yeah. And you know what I realize about success in general? It's just about starting. Diba? We keep on talking about it. They even made a video about this because, guys, this is something I've been having a problem about since I was like bata pa. Like I always tend to overanalyze things. I always
Perfectionist
like
kasi siya, guys.
want everything ready, and kasi parang very visual ako and very planner and very like vision na tao. So I can see the things that may go wrong. And then I tend to like, wag na.
Yeah, like when he wanted to start his YouTube channel 2 years
Oh,
ago.
yeah.
Grabe. Hindi pa siya nakastart, guys. I was telling him, ano na, I'll video you na. No, he wants to hire his own videographer/editor.
Buy
He
a
wants
new
to buy
camera.
his own camera. I said, I have a camera, you can use mine.
No, I don't like yours. Maliit yung sa'yo.
Yeah, he wanted his own pa.
I don't like yours. Maliit yung sa'yo. That's what she said.
That's what she said. Oh my God. Anyway, parang it was daming hurdles before he actually started. He even made me have meetings pa with this girl that he hired.
Yeah,
wala
pinapatraining ko pa.
Wala nangyari until one day during the pandemic, bored siya. He just started.
Yeah, I bring this up because I have a lot of friends who are super smart and who says like, oh, I actually have that idea. I had the idea for Spotify already. Hindi ko lang ginawa.
Yeah, naunahan ako.
Yeah, but that's because you didn't do anything about it. When you try to do it, parang makikita mo kung gaano talaga kahirap yung gawin.
Right. It's all about the execution. It's all about how you do things, diba?
Yeah.
It's not just the idea.
But what I learned is just by starting, a lot of the problems that you thought were problems are
Not
actually
problems after all.
Problems after all. Like for example, when I started the YouTube channel, parang the number one hesitation for me was I didn't know what to say, and I wanted there to be an outline for the
Right.
things that I said, and I want there to be parang timeline of the episodes that I want.
Yeah, parang wala pa nga episode 1. Gusto niya malaman ano yung episode 10.
Yes, yes. So, what really happened is we got bored because of all this pandemic. We're just at home.
Hindi ako, guys, siya lang.
I got bored, okay. And then sabi ko kay Chris, can I borrow your camera and just shoot me and I'll just talk about the lights that we put in the SkyPod.
Yeah.
So,
He just started
that
one
was
day.
the first video. And it was very awkward. And it's funny how...
It is? Did you rewatch it?
I mean, I can still remember that my posture was not the best and I stutter a lot and we had to
Right.
retake a lot of the shoots and I was sweating a lot because I was nervous and everything.
Oh, you were nervous lang.
Yeah, it's more like not nervous na, oh, I'm so scared. It's more of like nervous energy na parang,
It's my first video.
yeah,
I need to get this
video."
perfect.
Yeah,
Right,
parang
right.
ganyan. So parang ang daming mga aspects and then when we were actually doing it, oh, ganito lang pala yun. Ganito pala. Oh, it's not really that bad and it's not really that hard. Of course, I had you to help me out.
Yeah, I
but,
know, and I'm the best.
but I always had you to help me out, like even 2 years ago.
Right.
Diba? Parang,
It's just a matter of starting. Because if you don't start, parang there are so many things. You feel like step 1, okay, I'll do step 1. But then, what if this happens? What if this happens? And then what about step 2? I don't know how to do step 2. What about step 3? I don't know how to do step 3. Oh no, it's too overwhelming. I won't start na lang.
yeah.
Yeah. But if you start step 1, then you'll see if you just take it a day at a time, one thing at a time, kaya pala eh.
And I think also my problem is I tend to think very, very big, in big terms. Like when I start a company, I want there to be a scale of it going bigger.
Oh my gosh.
When
Here
I think
we go
about,
again.
diba?
guys.
Yung parang ganyan.
He's always talking about how to scale up everything.
Yes. So parang gusto ko na very vision lang talaga ako. Like I can't do day to day. I'm just like a long-term person. So when I do things ganyan, so that is also what stops me from doing it because when you tend to think about scale, dun ka na hihirapan. And these are things that I tell myself even up to this day. Even when starting just a YouTube video right now, I tend to think a lot more. I'm better, but I still hesitate. Meron pa ring hesitation. Anyway, example, if you're building a restaurant, ang saya-saya pa pag gumagawa ka pa ng logo, pero when it comes to the restaurant itself na, and it's your first restaurant, and you want a store, and ganyan, sobrang mahihirapan ka mag-start. And it's actually a waste of money, in my personal opinion, to just jump in and start. Yung parang, that's not the proper way to just start, for me.
So you're saying it depends on what you're doing.
You
Just start
have
depends.
to start at the smallest scale that you're comfortable with.
Comfortable.
Like, for example, if I were to start a restaurant right now and I didn't have an idea of what the restaurant business is like, I'd read up on it, yes, but I'll probably start with a kiosk or yung mga weekend mercados or even mga deliveries just to get an idea of what it is and if it's actually for me. This is something I learned from the YouTube na ginawa natin. Like, no gear, no nothing, just run and gun, do what you can.
Gets. Okay.
Like, you don't have a lot of investment in it yet. So it's not as scary to start. If I were to spend like 5 million pesos to have a restaurant remodeled, I have the perfect kitchen, ganyan, I have to hire the best chef.
And then later on you realize, this isn't what I want to do.
Yes, and
Patay na.
it takes you away from starting because, look at all these investments that I have to make.
Right.
Look at all these things that I have to manage. Meron pa palang payroll, meron pang PO, meron pang mga ganito.
Meron pang HR, meron pang ang daming... Yeah.
So it's all about starting from the smallest thing.
Yeah, with what you're comfortable with. Pero ngayon, hindi na smallest thing. Grabe yung level up mo sa camera gear, ah.
Hindi na that's what she said. Malaki na
Malaki
camera
na.
ko.
Oh my gosh. PG. Keep it PG, love.
But yeah, that's something I admire about you because sometimes, diba, love, paano ko to gagawin? And then you just go with me and you help me start right away. And you seem to not have that problem at all.
I don't know. I think I'm just wired differently from you. You are a very analytical person.
Oo.
You do tend to like really think about every little thing. That's not a bad thing.
Yeah,
It's just a
it's-
difference in personality.
Yes.
You were saying na, grabe no, you can just say, I'm gonna vlog today. I'll get my digicam.
Oo,
and
ganyan
then I'll
ka.
just vlog. But later what am I gonna post next week?
I'll plan my...
I'll plan it.
Yeah, I'll
He even
actually
wanted to
plan.
buy a teleprompter, guys. Grabe yung...
This was
yung
when
utak niya talaga.
This was when I was having a hard time like being eloquent. So I thought like a teleprompter.
But you know what? You are so much better now. Like, a
Yeah.
lot better than when you first started. Not
Yeah.
because of anything that you weren't good before. It's just, I don't know, there's so many skills that you improved just by starting. You know what I mean?
Yes, and it's actually that's something that a lot of people and me notice na parang I mean that's what keeps us from starting at all. It's because we're afraid of being made fun of or
We don't have
especially in the
enough skill
YouTube
set.
world where you're exposing yourself. Here we are with like double meaning terms, exposing yourself. Or
Bakit
ako lang ba?
nakakaisip niyan? Love, yung mind mo talaga. Nag-overanalyze siya.
Anyway, no, I mean, when you're putting yourself out there in the YouTube world, parang nakikita ng mga tao and people can actually judge you for that, di ba? Parang, and what I realize is the more I embraced being a beginner, just being like awkward and knowing that that's just the first step, the more I actually had fun because the more I see na, look, nag-improve na ako. Look,
Yeah.
na better na yung editing ko. Now it's better camera, better everything.
If you just accept that, I'm a beginner, I'm new to this, and therefore I will stutter and I will have a hard time at
Yeah.
first. It's not being pretentious na professional agad.
Yeah.
Your followers can also see right through that.
And that's actually what makes life meaningful. Wow, naging life lesson bigla. No, but
Always.
totoo. It makes life meaningful because the journey is there. Yung parang baby steps and then you see yourself get better. If I were to start vlogging and then sobrang galing ko na and then there's no sense of improving, for me, nawawala yung fun ng journey.
Growing and seeing progress and learning new things and improving every single day is one of the greatest journeys of life. Like, even with
Yes.
motherhood.
Yeah.
Every day, like when I started, it was so overwhelming. I'm like, how do I even research all of these things? There's too much literature about being a mom. It's like 1 month different literature, 2 months different. When you're feeding, iba. Like, it was just so overwhelming. But then when you're there, parang you just learn things every day. And now, like, I can, like, I can tell a new mom like what to do. Like, parang it's
Yeah.
so easy. It's second nature to me. You know what I mean?
And the funny thing is, when you look back on your journey, the hardships are what made it meaningful.
Yeah, walang
Diba?
tulog.
So life isn't just being happy all the time.
And the sad parts or the difficult parts are what make you appreciate all these good moments.
Yeah,
Because
I
they
think
wouldn't
so.
be good moments if there aren't any bad moments to compare the good moments to.
Yeah. You know, even before Scotty, parang my goal in life was just to be happy. Yun lang. But what I realize is life is not about being happy all the time. Like, we'd be more comfortable if Scotty wasn't around. Diba parang it's bad to say, but parang sabihin natin like we were still single, we'd probably be traveling the world right now. Diba?
Kung walang COVID.
Kung walang COVID. And I think if Scotty wasn't such a big responsibility for us, parang mas sabihin na natin, mas magaan ang buhay in a way.
Okay.
But even though he gave you so much hardship, so much, and all these stress and all these falling hair and hormones and all the
Achy boob
achy
situation.
boobs and the breastfeeding and all these things, you are still infinitely better off and more satisfied with life that he is here.
Of course.
So it's not about, dati kasi ang iniisip ko is all about happiness and comfort. I'm always comfortable and I'm always happy and I'm okay.
Okay.
Pero ngayon parang it's the challenges and it's sometimes like it's these types of things that give it meaning.
Yeah,
Yun na,
that's true. I don't think I can really parang not compare, but like the Scotty example isn't good for me because
Okay.
when you say Scotty, it's a blur. Like, Scotty, where? Where's my baby? I want to see my baby. I want to hug my baby. So, I'm kind of like, what do you mean you don't want Scotty in our life? Parang nagtutwitch na yung eye ko. But I totally get what you mean. Like, different example, but I totally get what you mean.
Different example. If someone were to give me, let's say, 100 million pesos, and then, sa'yo na yan, no questions asked, that's yours. I'd rather na parang pinaghirapan ko yung 100.
Mas
Like, I
masarap
built
talaga.
something to get to that 100.
Right. Like, for example, when I get a new designer bag, let's say, I can say, I saved money for a year. I worked really hard for a year to get this bag. This bag is a testament of my hard work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Kesa it was given to me by, let's say, someone na manliligaw or whatever. I'm like, this guy gave me this bag.
Yeah.
Wala.
And
That's all I can
that's-
say.
My dad I remember the story of my dad when he was so crazy about golf. Napansin ko, he bought golf clubs one at a time. Hindi siya bumibili ng golf clubs na kumpleto lahat. Although he can afford it.
Right.
And he doesn't buy, di ba, when ako, I would tend to like buy everything at once as much as possible. But siya hindi. Because sabi niya, every time he buys one, it makes him a little bit happy and satisfied. And then the next
Oh,
one.
that's so
little bit.
true.
Well, now that I think about it, maybe I should start doing that.
You know what? I remember we were in Singapore with your mom.
Yeah.
And we were buying not furniture, but like little houseware.
things.
Yeah, for our house. You remember this? And we were buying glasses. And then we looked at the double-walled glass. At that time, hindi pa siya uso. Ngayon, on Instagram, it's
Yeah.
trending so much.
Yung mga sa coffee.
Double-walled glasses for their coffee and cafe shops and stuff like that. But at that time when we were in Singapore, hindi pa siya uso, and the one we bought was branded, and sobrang mahal niya. And so I remember saying, wow, this glass is so expensive. Let's just buy 2. Dalawa lang naman tayo eh.
Yeah.
When we have bisita, let's just give them the normal glass. And then your mom told us, like, you know what? Mas masarap ngayon to shop because
Pag masakit.
Pag masakit pa, you
Yeah, I
feel
remember
the
this.
happiest, you feel happier with your purchase more now because you feel it.
Yeah.
But when you're so rich, when you don't care how many glasses you buy, you can buy a pack, you can buy 20 glasses, and then the happiness that glass will give you diminishes by far.
Yeah, tama. It's funny life sometimes. Makes me think.
Yeah.
So what really is success for you, love?
Success for me, you know what? I really don't like answering these things.
Kasi para
What is
siyang-
happiness for you? What is success for you? What is love for you?
Like, even now that I'm asking you this, like, it made it sound like it was just a point where, pag nandito ka na, success ka na.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, I realized that when I asked you the question.
Yeah, it's not, for me, it's not something that I can define and stick to that definition.
Yeah.
Like at this moment, I feel like I'm successful if ganito, but it can always change. I feel like success, happiness, all of these things, they're a part of life and they constantly evolve with your life. Do you know where
and
I'm getting at?
it's actually set to your standard, whatever it is. For me right now, Nick, now that we're talking, it might be that I am at peace or I am content with life.
Yeah, and I remember before, when we have friends over and they'd say, you know what, bye, I have this business idea, bye, I'm gonna do this, la, 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 la."
Yeah.
And then Slater would always say, after they leave, Slater would always tell me like, you know what, if I were him, I'll do this, I'll scale it, I'll make it big, I'll make it like this, I'll franchise it like that.
Yeah.
And then I always tell him, love, you can't say that because Slater's thinking like, this guy's thinking too small. In order to be successful, he has to do A, B, C, D, E.
Yes.
And then I'd always say, love, iba-iba kasi yung success for different people.
Yeah.
Maybe at the time Slater's success was $1 billion, but yeah, I mean whatever.
Yeah.
But his friend, the success for his friend was just starting something.
Yeah.
Or he likes making his business small, so he has more time with his family.
Yeah.
Iba-iba talaga.
And again, with you defining your own measure of success. And I feel like it shouldn't be a destination. You can be your definition of successful right now if you can look at yourself from a different perspective. Diba?
Agree. I feel like everyone has their own definition of success. Everyone has their own journey to success.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that when they get to that destination, it stops there. Success can always evolve.
Yeah, and it can always change. Like dati, that was my definition of success. To be able, and I remember this, I want to be able to buy anything without it being painful.
I remember that.
Like, gusto ko na bumili ako ng sports
First class
car.
ticket
Or
for
s-
everyone.
Yeah, and I don't want to...
Make it rain.
Make it rain agad. Like, parang ganyan. Like, parang na-realize ko ngayon na it's not that gives you lasting happiness.
Right.
It's actually yung hardship, yung pag ninamnam mo yung hardship na parang you can feel where all this is coming from. I worked hard for this. That's part of it. And it's also just loving the little things in life.
Sa ngayon.
Sa ngayon,
But in the future, that can change. And that's okay.
alam mo kung ano yung future?
Ano?
I think I already know.
What?
Na at least makapag-ihi and makapag-poop lang ako ng maayos when we're 70.
Hindi lang
masaya
masakit
na
ang
ako.
bones. Success na yung makakapupo lang.
Diba?
Yeah, the little things ka, di ba? Sabi natin.
But life is really, really too short. And whatever you decide success to be, I think you should just go for it. Like if it's something to do with being an artist, even if it doesn't entail a lot of money.
If it's not working at all and spending time with your loved ones.
Yeah.
If it's traveling the world, whatever it may be.
No matter how risky, I think it's worth it to just at least try and start.
Heart. Okay na to.
Alright. Okay na daw kuno guys.
Okay na kay. Sakit na kay ako liog.
Mo na imong definition of success, love.
Mo lagi. Success daw man na kay mo pahuhay lagi ko.
Kay dili na sakit imong liog.
Sakit mas stiff neck mo taning mic.
To translate into Tagalog. Kasi pag hindi na masakit
wala
yung leeg niya.
Wala na translate.
Okay na
Goodbye
daw
na.
siya. Bye guys. We'll
Bye,
see you in the
guys.
next
Good
one.
night.
Good night.